So then, about a year ago, you made another big change. And
Yes, made the decision to go from the PPTs, which is prepay, to the express pay terminal. And a couple of things drove that decision. You know, as I saw the home improvement stores and the grocery stores add self-pay areas, I realized that that's what some customers want, and my wife absolutely will only go to a grocery store where she can self-pay. And again, we want all the choices available, and there was a couple of defining moments in that regard to make that decision. Of course, I had been looking at that all along. It was a sizable investment for me, being in a small market and not a high volume wash. That was a very difficult decision. As you well know, we worked on that decision over maybe a 2 or 3 year time frame, but there was a couple of defining moments that helped me make that decision. Again, it was customer driven, and I was on the lot one day, and a customer called me over to his car. We also have self-serve vac areas. We'll do it, and we offer free vacuuming. And he says, "Can I tell you something?" And I said, "Sure." He says, "You know, my wife won't come here." And I said, "Really?" And she goes, "Yes. Every time she would come in here, your man back there, he would try to sell her the kitchen sink." And I have to qualify that because you're aware of this company called the Curry Group, who help train service advisors. And Jim, he was referring to Jim, who has been with me 20 plus years, and Curry gave me a huge compliment by saying, of all the service advisors we've ever worked with, Jim is absolutely the best service advisor we've ever run across in the car wash industry, that anyways. And so it wasn't that Jim was rude, it wasn't Jim that wasn't informed. Her perception was any effort to educate was interpreted by her that we were trying to force her to buy something she didn't want to purchase. So that I got to thinking, okay, and I said, well, I told him, I said, I'm contemplating this self-serve pay station. Do you think that she would come if that were the case? Absolutely, because she uses the self-pay lines at the grocery store. Well, then the second defining moment was my daughter, who grew up folding towels at the car wash, and is in sales. She's the Midwest sales manager for the National PGA Resort in Palm Beach. And she was telling me that she goes to 2 car washes, and I'm not going to say the city because you would know who these main operators are. One of them has self-pay stations, and one of them has a service advisor. And she said the one who has a service advisor actually does, the quality is a little better than the one that had the XPT. And it wasn't the XPT quality issue, it was the labor that was involved. And she goes, and the service advisor, Dad, is just like yours. He's really a nice man. He's always friendly, never pushy. But Dad, some days I am just so tired and so burnt out of talking to people, but I need my car washed. I find myself going to the location that has the express pay terminal. I don't know that she used that terminology, as opposed to the service advisor, because I just don't want to talk to anybody, Dad. I said, oh my. Really? She goes, oh yeah. So when she told me that, I picked up the phone and called you. I said, I am ready, because that's a choice, and so we can do it self-pay, or we can provide the service. Now, we don't have the PPTs back there anymore, but we man it pretty aggressively because we want to not discourage the customer who wants the personal touch. Just like Home Depot, there's always a gal or a guy right there ready to assist you, and so we're very aggressive because we don't want to lose a customer because they're forced to do it themselves. But now it's interesting, once we've done this now, and it was back in September, on occasion I will approach a customer what I think is maybe having a little difficulty, and I'll say, would you like me to help you? No, I know how to do this. It was almost like I'm insulting them.
Oh, they really want.
So I've instructed my service advisors / loaders now, be very, very careful that you just offer assistance if you think they need it. But let them, give them an opportunity to do it themselves.